They call the island Senja two-faced. Green and welcoming on the landward side, raw, brutal and stormy on the ocean side. Join our ride over Norway's second biggest island and an adventurous hike to one of its most iconic mountains. We are on the island Senja now, and it's already 8 p.m. but it's so cool because it's still like bright daylight outside, and we're now in the area of midnight sun, and I'm actually so excited to see the midnight sun, but I don't know if I can really stay awake because usually I go to bed at like 9 or 10, so we will see if I manage. Senja Island is like a microcontinent. It's also known as the fairytale island, or Norway in miniature, because so many of the nation's highlights can be seen in this single unique area. High mountains, fjords, valleys, colorful villages, and beautiful bays. It's so funny, my travel partner hates me today, and I think he's actually driving extra slow behind me because I'm going to make him hike up the steep mountain called Hesten today, and from there you have a great view on the famous Segla mountain, and I can tell you he is not happy about that at all. The island of Senja sits northeast of Vesterålen, flanked by the Norwegian Sea, the Malangenfjord, the Gesundet Strait, and the Solbergfjord. The outer side of Senja is characterized by dramatic mountains, an idyllic archipelago, and sandy beaches, while the inner side has a gentle landscape of rolling hills and birch forests. I actually wonder what happens if you meet someone here in these small tunnels. Scary. We were about to find out soon. I tell you guys, besides of that we just met this big truck that's blocking our way, these tunnels are not so much fun. I don't know if you can see that, but the ground is completely muddy and wet and very slippery. You really have to be careful here. The trailhead to Hesten Mountain starts in the village Fjordgard. First it leads over a steep skiing slope, then through an idyllic low birch woodland, with wooden footways to avoid your feet getting wet. The creeks that will cross your way provide cold and crystal clear water. Don't forget to try the fresh water and fill up your drinking bottles for free. The best water. The hike became more steep the closer we got to the top.
So this is the way up that you have to do, and the goal is to end on this mountain here. So how much do you hate me for going up here this mountain?
How much?
Yeah?
Not so much anymore, more this morning. Now it's okay.
Because the view is beautiful.
The view is fantastic.
Over quite some rocks.
The last section to the top of Hesten Mountain, from where you have the best view on Segla, is the hardest part. You have to climb over some boulders and up a narrow, steep, rocky path. And now we realize that we might not have gone on this little adventure with the perfect shoes for climbing a mountain. From the top of Hesten Mountain, you have a breathtaking view to the nearly vertical cliffs of Segla. And from here you can see why people refer to the 639-meter high Segla mountain as the Sail of Senja Island. Its north cliff is 300 meters vertical rock face, and the west side drops vertically 639 meters down to Fjorden. The top of Hesten offers as well a 360 degrees panoramic view in all other directions. Nearly 600 meters below, you can look over the bright blue waters of Fjorden and Fjorden.
On video you always don't see it, but this is quite a steep way down to the valley. And I tell you, going down is much worse than going up with our kind of shoes, because we have this shitty sneakers with basically no profile. That's how here you go down if you have the wrong shoes, holding on to these little trees you see here. You think that's gonna hold you?
Who hikes can as well handle some delicious fish and chips afterwards. I have to admit, before we came here to Senja, I was a bit anxious because I wondered if it can keep up with the beauty of Lofoten Island, but it definitely can. I love this place so much because it's much less touristic and it feels much more remote than Lofoten, and still, I mean, look at this, the landscape is stunning. Our ride back to our accommodation took us again over Senja's scenic route to the Bergsboten mountain range, and it offered amazing views over Straumsboten.
It's in the past, I believe.
My travel partner and I, by the way, for once agreed. If we would choose a place to stay and explore a bit longer, we would choose Senja over the famous Lofoten Island, because we fell in love with this place in Norway. So good news is that Senja is really absolutely stunning. Bad news is that when we were hiking I got bitten by a lot of flies on my ankle and my foot now feels super swollen. Actually I can barely feel my foot anymore. I don't know what it is, but it really doesn't feel that good. Overnight we stayed close to Hamn I Senja. Hamn means port, and a cluster of islets provide a sheltered safe haven. Hamn I Senja is an old trading post for nickel and couldn't be more dramatically situated. The Sugarloaf Mountains straight south, the 98 islands of the Gryllefjord to the north, and the endless Atlantic to the west. My swollen foot started to hurt badly during the night and kept me awake. So I, for the first time in my life, could witness the famous midnight sun. This footage was taken between 12 p.m. and 2 a.m.
So today is day 14 of our journey, and it's actually the second day that we're starting without pouring rain from the start, and today is gonna be a sunny day, so that means the first day of putting the pants inside the boots.
Yes, we finally were able to escape the rain. The next episode will bring us closer to North Cape and take us on a beautiful ride over the Lyngen Alps. If you want to meet some reindeers and find out why my foot was still swollen and why we had to buy 3 liters of oil, subscribe my channel and tune in next Thursday. And leave a thumbs up and comment if you like our hike to Senja.